What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916 getting down with Fresh Out. And we have a really good prison talk for you guys today. We have the homie Garrett, and he has some real stories to tell for you guys, man, and give you some real, because you guys been asking for some diversity on the channel, so we were able to put something together for you. Garrett, man, thank you for coming on the channel. You know, a lot of people ask a lot of questions about, you know, doing time and you know, the politics. Could you break down the hierarchy of what it's like for, you know, a white guy going into the prison system, man? And I know you've been to federal, state, so maybe start off with the state and then lead into the feds.
Yeah, man, it's I mean, there's different groups, you know what I mean? And especially even in the joint, man, you got the hood, Aryan Brotherhood, right? And then you got skinheads. And then you just have the normal dudes that just don't want to be involved with stuff. Okay. For the white boys, mainly it's skin or AB cat. You know what I mean? That's your two main groups. And
when you get into the, you know, when you first, you know, get into the joint and you come in, you're getting booked in, is right off the top, are they checking paperwork?
Not really, man. Like not right then and there.
Okay.
Pretty much, man. Especially, it depends on where you go and what yard, man. If you're going to a lower yard, it's kind of not, they're not really checking hard paperwork.
Okay.
You go into a bigger yard, you're going to the central unit, the walls, or you're going to one of these high floor yards, they already know you're coming before you get in there. If you got some dirt on you, man, they're gonna know it.
You can't, there's no hiding behind that shit.
There's no hiding.
So you did time in California and Arizona?
No, I did time in Arizona, and then I did fed time in Texas and Arizona.
Okay, and what would you say was the major difference between doing time in Arizona State and the feds?
Night and day. It's night and day, man. The feds is, especially in a pen. When you're doing time in a pen, man, it's they're playing for keeps, man. There's no room for error.
There's no playing messing around.
Nah, man. It's live. It's super live. I'm not saying the state ain't live, but it's not like the feds, man. The feds, it's knives. You mess up, man, they're gonna put holes in you, and they're taking you out in a body bag, or at least they're trying to.
And what spot were you at in the feds as far as USPs?
Beaumont, Texas.
Beaumont, Texas. And what was Beaumont like?
Beaumont was what it's called, Bloody Beaumont, man. It was the Thunderdome. When I was there in 05, 06, and 07, it was literally called the Thunderdome because so many people were getting butchered there, man. It was live.
So in Beaumont, pretty much the USP was, you know, everybody clicked up. I mean, I know at the USPs, it's a lot more serious. You know, what chow line you go through, where you know, how you program on the yard, everything's like on a whole nother serious level.
Yeah, it's all clicks. When you go into a pen, usually if you're going to a pen, it's because you're involved in some kind of gang activity, right? And then especially if you're in the hierarchy, you're definitely going to a pen, right? And it's definitely, they do it, it's like by cars. You call it your car.
Okay.
What car are you in, you know what I mean? So you'll have different skinhead cliques will run under one dude. You know what I mean? Even though we're all from different cliques, we run under one dude.
Okay.
Aryan Brotherhood, if they're on the yard, which is very few, then a lot of the dudes will answer, the white boys will answer to them. You got different cliques for every car. I mean, there's so many different, probably 20 different white gangs, 15 different Mexican gangs, all on one yard. Every clique you could think of is on that yard.
And in Beaumont, as far as like, what were most of the incidents over? Because I know in most of the spots I was at, drugs, you know, somebody owing somebody, gambling, you know, I mean, it's usually always some money involved when it comes to somebody getting stabbed, or the TV sometimes too, but, you know, stupid shit like that. But I know a lot of times, you know, people wonder, like, what happened? Well, somebody owes somebody on a yard, and it, you know, it crosses, you know, clicks, and then it goes down.
Yeah, you know, it's always that. It's exactly what it is, man. I've been in one riot over a TV room, but that was like not really big. But then I've been in riots over dudes owing other dudes calling dudes problems. In the feds, there's no hands-on policy, meaning that like if I could put hands on you, you're black, I'm white.
Yeah.
It's no hands-on policy,
That's
man.
right, yeah.
You know what I mean? So your own dudes take care of you, my dudes take care of me. I've seen it once in a federal system that were black and a white dude got it in, and that was okayed by the whole yard.
Okay.
But normally it's you're dealing with your own race, and it's drugs, gambling debts, something you did in your past that you're hiding from that they find out about it because they find out about it. You know what I mean? in the feds, they're stabbing you, man. They're not beating you. They're stabbing you.
Yeah, because I've seen it where they've had guys that be on the yard, and it's like, this is big so-and-so, but then somebody else comes and be like, hey, do it at another spot. And immediately, he went from being all good to all bad. I mean, it's like, dude, it's no, hey, man, we're friends. It ain't none of that shit. You know, it's just like a switch. It's like a switch.
Don't matter how close you are to somebody, man. You get on that yard, man, and you got something bad in your past, nothing you can do to save them.
Have you seen where there was somebody that was among, you know, your particular car, and then somebody found out something and it just turned sour real fast?
Yeah, many times. Many times where I've even had to go after my own homeboys that I've known for a long time just because of something I didn't know that they had in them that came out later, man. It's happened many times.
Damn.
And it's not nice.
Yeah.
You're trying to kill a dude, man, and he's your homeboy because of something he did that's on the yard that they know he did, and you can't get away from it.
It's just what it is.
It is what it is, man.
And see, that's what's crazy, man, that, you know, people don't understand. And, you know, even, you know, you think you can go somewhere and you can get away from it. This shit follows you in the system. You know, I mean, I know dudes, you know, guys, they can check your YA record. You know, dudes to get on the phone and check out, like, you know, and see what you were about in YA, or have their girl look up your paperwork on the street to see if you're lying. Because if like a dude don't like you and he thinks there's something weird about you, he'll go and say, hey, man, look up this dude and see what he really did time for, you know.
And you know what? And to go further, man, I've seen it happen where dude who had a little bit of level, not too much level, but he had a little level up there. You know what I mean? He was running a yard. He wasn't big somebody, but he had a level. And he had a homeboy from the streets that he didn't like, and he had his girl make up fake paperwork.
Oh, shit.
Fake paperwork, man. And the dude ended up getting smashed on the yard.
Wow.
Right? So, like, there's no room for error, man. When people go to prison, man, you're playing for real, man. Especially when you go in these higher yards, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? A 3 yard is iffy, depending on where it's at, right? 4 and 5 yards, you know what time it is, man.
Yeah.
You're playing for keeps.
Wow. That's you know, that's some serious shit. And like you said, man, you know, you gotta, I tell people, man, it's like a chess game, because you gotta know who likes you and who doesn't, and then who maybe is an undercover hater but ain't exposed themselves yet, because these people, you know what I mean, they'll try to find ways to get at you.
Yeah, no, they definitely will, man. It happens all the time, man. You got dudes that just they want that fame, man, and so they'll lie their whole story up, man, and then once something happens, truth comes out, nobody, you know what I mean, and they're getting hurt off the yard. You can be a somebody and go to a nobody like that.
Damn.
That quick.
What was like an incident that, you know, resulted in you having to go to the hole while you were there in Beaumont?
Oh, man. Beaumont. We had a dude on the yard, man. He was claiming that he was running the whole yard, right? And nobody in Beaumont runs a whole yard. It's run by cars. Each car, like the West Coast car, we all clicked up together. East Coast car clicked up together. You know what I mean? You had the Texas car. You had different cars for different races. So, like, nobody ran it. Everybody would, like, kind of, like a council of the group. So this dude's in the whole, talking about how he's running all the cars. And he's the top dude. And he's the man, and just running his mouth, man. And so word comes out to the yard, and they're like, hey, man, so we're going to get him when we come out. So we need 3 people to go. You know what I mean? I had just got on the yard. I'd been there maybe a month. And I wanted the other skinheads to know that, like, if I'm going to go, when I tell you to go, you better go, right? So I'm showing them leading them by going first. And so I went with 2 other dudes, and we just, we put some serious damage to this dude, man, just so get him off the yard.
Yeah, man. Those removals, man, I've seen where they got dudes and it's got to be removed, man. It ain't nothing nice, man.
No, it isn't, man. And the worst part about it, man, is like, for me, I'd say, is like changing my life now. You know what I mean? To where my life is today, where I'm not about none of that stuff, man.
Exactly.
And then I have to think back of the stuff that I've done to people, and it's shitty, man. It sucks.
Yeah.
It really does.
And a lot of it boils down to, like you said, a survival instinct in those environments, though, because you're put in such a barbaric environment, and if you don't basically assimilate into some of that, you can't survive.
That's it. It's absolutely right.
You know?
Point on. You get in there, you're in a whole nother mode, man. You're a whole nother person. Who I was in the joint is definitely not who I am out here. I mean, before the joint, the dude I was on the streets was the same dude I was in the joint. It's primal. It's all primal, you know what I mean? It's that animal instinct. But when you get in the joint, it's on another level. When I changed my life and I got sober and I said before I found God, man, I was a bad dude, man. People didn't want to cross me. And now I love people, man. I just want everybody to know the truth.
And what's the difference? Because you said it, if there's some skinheads on your, what's the difference for somebody who doesn't understand between, like you said, the Aryan Brotherhood, the skinheads, is in the woods. What is the difference in?
Skinheads is it's more on the streets, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's a street thing. It's a way of belief of, just a way of belief of your life, man. And Aryan Brotherhood's more in prison. You know what I mean? They're a prison clique. They started in the joint, man, and they that's their house, man.
Okay.
When we're there, we just kind of do our thing, and they do their thing, and we're there if they need us. But other than that, we kind of do our own.
Okay. And then the woods is just.
And Wood's just a white boy.
Okay. Okay.
Wood's just a white boy.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know. They get it mixed up, or these youngsters, they start saying stuff they don't know what they're talking about, and it's just, it's just a lot of confusion out there, especially with, social media and stuff. As far as like addressing like people snitching, and a lot of dudes now, oh man, I got to do what I got to do. And I know when I was growing up, and even in the pen, dudes might think, oh man, you could tell and get away, but people find out it's like ain't nobody. I ain't seen nobody accept that up in there when I was in there. I mean, did you see a lot of incidents where people got caught up behind the things they said about somebody else as far as for telling, or was that really a major issue when you were in there?
I mean, sure, that's always an issue, man, I think, you know what I mean? But it's more so dudes getting a long time case, man, for somebody else telling on them. Okay. You know what I mean? That's a big issue, man.
Getting a lot of time because somebody ratted on him about something instead of holding it.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely, man. I mean, that's the street life, man.
Yeah.
The old saying is snitches get stitches. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. You live in that lifestyle, man, that's what's gonna happen, man.
Yeah.
And if you're still living in that lifestyle, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's the truth to it, man. On the flip side, I mean, now that I live my life the way that I live my life, man, I don't see that stuff, man. I try to move away from it. But if you're living in that life, man, and you're playing that game, go ahead and try that, man. See what happens.
Well, that's why my thing is too, like he said, I'm so far removed from that where, I don't have anything to endorse in that lifestyle. But when I see these guys and then they're glorified and people think, oh man, and they're all, that's like, dude, that's not, when you play that game, you got to realize you're with wolves. And there's things that come with that. And then for you to try to justify it because, well, you knew you shouldn't have been over there to begin with. You know what I mean? You're not in a situation where these are good dudes, and if anybody's involved in that type of activity, that there could be consequences. So all of a sudden, when the shit hits the fan, and you want to try to like find a way out, that's not,
And that's what I mean, man. If you're living in that life, man, if you're playing that game, you're gonna get caught up. You do some stupid shit.
Yeah.
Just what it is, man.
Yeah.
And it's life or death, man.
Yeah.
It's for real. It's for keeps. It ain't fake, man.
Yeah.
But if you're out here living life, doing the right thing, staying out of the mix, nobody's going to bother you.
That's right.
But the minute you get back in the mix, they're coming for you.
That's right.
It's just what it is.
That's right. Yeah, a lot of people get the game, they get it confused. They don't really understand how that works. So I just wanted to reiterate that because I think there's a lot of this a false narrative going on with that, with particular rappers who push a lot of that, and then at the same time glorify, oh, I was doing all this stuff, but it's like, dude, you're a rat. And you weren't really about that life. You were doing it because of likes and followers,
Yeah, man, there's a lot of people that play the game and then think that they can get away with it, man. And then when the truth comes out and they get caught or something happens to them, look what happens to each and every one of them, man.
That's right.
They get hit with the real life of what it's like inside there, man.
That's right. That's right.
It's like life. It's almost like the Matrix, right? The blue pill, the red pill,
Yeah.
right? The street life, the gang life, the prison life. That's the blue pill. Everything else is the red pill.
That's
you
right.
get one to the other, man.
That's right.
You take that blue pill. Whatever happens, the consequences. Be ready to take action for it, man.
That's right.
Because they're coming.
That's right. Hey, you guys, there you have it from Garrett himself, Big Herc, getting down with Fresh Out Prison Talk.